Hey everyone, welcome to another collector's review. Today's collector's review actually is a re-review of the Geki Chopper side blade. For some reason, my video was deleted from YouTube, and when I went to go to my backup file to re-upload it, that file was missing as well. So a little bit, yeah, very frustrating with this review, to say the least. But that's not going to stop me. The good thing about YouTube is you can always re-record, re-upload. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go ahead and do a short re-review of the Geki Chopper side blade because these are collector's reviews that I'm doing for you as fans, for myself as a fan. I just have to talk about these great items. So I'll go ahead and get on with it here. The side blade of Geki Chopper, the White Rhino Ranger from Jukin Sentai Geki Ranger, or Power Rangers Jungle Fury as it's known here in the States. I want to make this short and sweet, so I'll just go ahead and not ramble too much. On switch is right here on the toy. And when you power it on, you get a nice little light up indication as well as a sound indication that the toy is on. It's a very, very good size for the toy. It's not small or dinky like the Japan or like the Bandai of America version. This is the Bandai Japan version, which obviously, if you have the choice between the two, always get the Japanese version because the American version has so much less detail, so many less functions. It just doesn't measure up to the Japanese Bandai of Japan versions of these toys. It has a trigger right here. The speaker is located on the handle right here, which is a good thing. It's not on this side because your hand would be completely covering it. But even so, my last two fingers cover the speaker just a little bit when you're gripping it completely like that. But it's still loud enough to where it shouldn't matter. You can still hear it pretty clearly. So on with the functions. When you pull the trigger in this mode, you get lights and sound effects indicating that it's some kind of laser projectile. And you can hold the trigger down as long as you want and release, and you still get the explosion sound. Really, really nice. I do like that. In the show, he would actually use it in this mode not only for projectiles, but he would use it to strike with too, as a punching attack, strike. Obviously, he was also able to do backhand slashes and attacks with the blade part here, like so, kind of like the anime The Guyver. If you ever seen that, he's got blades coming out of his elbows, which is kind of cool. But to morph, that's probably what you're waiting for me to get to, is this whole top device here, which I don't really get the whole aesthetic of. It's kind of odd looking, and it doesn't really serve much purpose other than the fact that when you press this lever on the back right here, you fold that forward until it locks into position there. You can hear it, and it snaps into position. The morphing button is actually right there, that small little gray button right there. I have no idea why it's there. It's a strange placement for it. But when in the show, when Geki Chopper morphs, transforms, he does a small little martial arts kata, like so, and then raises his hand up, and his hand is what hits the button right here to morph. I'll go ahead and hit it for you. So it's a very short morphing sequence sound. I'll just go ahead and hit it for you again. And that's all it really is. It's a very, very short morphing sequence sound. And Geki Chopper, in the Japanese version, he would say, Togisu Masei, Keimono no Heiba, Beast on, which is basically beast spirits awaken, beast on. Animal spirits awaken, beast on. So, very, very simple, yet complicated. Obviously, I don't speak fluent Japanese, but I'm good enough to understand most things. Once he's morphed, obviously, this part here would be back into position like so. And as he's morphed, he still uses the main functions, projectile and punching. But the main feature, the cool part about this, it's called the side blade for a reason. This switch right here, if you press and hold that, you can fold it up like so into the side blade mode. Obviously, sai in Japanese means rhino, if no one else knew that. Obviously, it's meant to look like a rhino. It's got like a little bit of a rhino's horn right there, and as such. I do like the size and detail of it. Obviously, like I said, it's much better than the American version. In this mode, when you pull the trigger, instead of getting a projectile sound, you get a slashing, clashing, slashing, slash, clashing sound. Say that 5 times fast. But, so, again, very, very unique and yet simple, because obviously if it's in a blade mode, you don't want it to sound like a laser blaster. And when it's a laser blaster, you don't want it to sound like a blade, like a clashing sword or something. So it's nice that it differentiates between modes. This right here, the blade part of it, is actually made of some kind of like a latex plastic rubber. That way it bends and it won't break, or there's no paint to chip off of it. So you could actually clash with this, like if you were obviously a kid playing with, like, say, your brother or your friend with toys, and you clash these together, it's not going to hurt anything, obviously, unless it hits an abrasive surface like something sharp or pointy or edgy. It might actually damage the toy. But don't do that, obviously. These are collector's items for a reason. That's why I call these collector's reviews and not just toy reviews. But this piece right here, this hand shield, was actually supposed to be adjustable and move, basically, like, you could actually, like, move it around, like, up and down. But I actually glued it and fixed it into one simple position, because as I would swing it, it would just flop around really violently, and I was afraid of breaking it to where it was irreparable, and I didn't want to do that. So I just permanently fixed it into one position. It still works fine, still looks fine, and the rest was downhill from there. It worked out great. So anyone out there who's got one of these and you're tired of it flopping around, just get yourself some Gorilla Glue or some liquid cement and just glue it. Just fix it into one simple position. That way you're not worrying about anything. Back to the functions. Aside from the flashing sound, obviously, like I said, you get all these nice lights, like these nice lighting and sound display. If you hold the trigger down, you get this charging alarm type sound, and when you release it, you get a special attack sound, obviously. And if you've seen the series, you would know that Geki Chopper, his weapon is pretty damn powerful. I mean, if he can split a lake with his power, with his special attack, that's pretty damn strong. So it's really, really cool. I love the paint job. Like I said, when it comes to the size, in comparison to the show, it's actually pretty accurate. It still should be a tad bit larger, like maybe, like from the point here, it should be like maybe, like lengthwise, it should be more like out to here, and from the bottom to the top, the bottom, it should be like from there, probably up to about there. So it's still not that much smaller than the actual prop they use in the show, but as far as cosplay purposes go, this would be perfect for a cosplay, which I definitely do plan on doing sometime in the future. I would love to be Geki Chopper or the Jungle Fury Rhino Ranger from those respective series. So it sucks that I had to do a re-review on this, because obviously, like I said, it somehow got deleted from YouTube and I lost the backup file to re-upload it. So re-reviews aren't bad. I just don't like to have to do them if I don't have to, but I did anyway. And as usual, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I got a lot more collector's reviews coming up, and I'll go ahead and set this down real quick.